Hello YouTube. In this video I'm going to go over some useful keyboard shortcuts in Ansoft Maxwell. The shortcuts that I'm showing you in this video would also work in any other Ansoft product since the Ansoft company is trying to be seamless and consistent in different products. That includes HFSS as well, and you can actually apply all these shortcuts in the HFSS as well. One thing that I have to tell you is I'm going to put this tutorials at the very beginning of the series of the tutorials that I'm intending to upload in this channel, because learning about the shortcuts is very essential and helpful before you start doing any modeling or simulations. So the shortcuts that I'm going to go over is basically starting from very general shortcuts like saving, which is Control plus S, or you can click on the save button here. You can undo by pressing Control and the key Z, or you can go over here and do the undo, or you can redo by Control Y. Also, so these are basically very basic controls that you know for the file management, and these are the shortcuts that you can find in Windows, different Windows applications, and it's basically universal. Now the next couple of shortcuts that I'm going to talk about is about modeling, and you will use this shortcut a lot when you're doing the modeling, and it will help you to save a lot of time. So let's begin with a simple model that we can find in the examples of the Maxwell. Go ahead and click on File and open Examples. I'm going to go over the Maxwell 3D examples, and I'm going to select example magnetostatic. You can also go and select electrostatic, but I think depending on your choice, you can between one of these two. Let's go actually with the electrostatic. Okay, let's open this one. As you can see, it's a pretty this one is not simple as I intended to start with, but you can actually see what I mean by using the shortcuts. So the first thing that you would do is, let's say that you want to fit the entire model into your screen. What you do is you either go and click on the fit all the content in the view button, or you can just use Control plus D. Okay, Control and D. What I mean by plus, it's meaning you press and hold the Control key and then you add D to that. So Control D is for fit to all. Okay, now let's say you want to rotate the view. Of course you can use one of these buttons to rotate, but when you do that, it will basically go to the rotate mode, and then you have to move it back to the pan mode, or you want to remove that and go to the select object mode. You can do that easily by pressing escape. So let's say I'm in the rotate with the center mode, and I'm rotating the view, but then I'm gonna move and select something, so I press escape to go to the select mode again. But if you want to skip that and you want to do it fast, the only thing you need to do is to press and hold the Alt key and then start pressing and dragging the mouse with your right or the primary button pressed. So you pressed the primary button of your mouse and then hold Alt, and when you move the mouse, you can basically move the entire model as well. Sometimes you want to zoom in or zoom out. Zoom in and zoom out, you can use this window, of course. The shortcut for that to press and hold the middle mouse button and start dragging up or down while you are pressing and holding it down. So you hold down the middle button of the mouse and drag up or down. So let's say you want to zoom in or zoom out. If your mouse has a wheel, then you can basically use the wheel. You don't need to use the middle mouse button. So if you have a wheel, you basically just it's like scrolling down a document with the wheel. You just basically scroll the wheel up or down, and you can see that your view gets zoom in or zoom out. So for most of the case, you can use the wheel. Now let's say that you zoomed in and you want to go from one section of your model to another section, or in other words, you want to pan your model. To do that, you either use the hand icon, press on that and pan around, and then use escape to go back to the selecting mode, or you simply press and hold the shift key and then press and hold the primary button of your mouse, is either left or right, and then start dragging the mouse. As you can see, it's not zooming in or out, it's just panning around your device. So you can go and pan to your model and select whatever edges or face you want to do. Speaking of which, so when you want to select something, depending on what selection mode you are at, you can either select the entire object. As you can see, when I click, the entire object will select it, or you can just select one face. If you want to select a face, what you would do is basically you right click on your model and you basically select the object, select the face, edge, vertices, or multi. You can see by default it's selected on objects. So the short key for that, as you can see on the right side of that, for selecting the face is just pressing F one time. For selecting the object, you press O. For selecting the edges, you select E. So you press E time, and then your mouse will just select the edges of your model. And for selecting the vertices, you just press V. So for example, if I want to select the face, I press F, and then I go ahead and select the face that I want. Let's say in this case, I wanted to select the face of the rotary object here, but as you can see, when I press select face, the object in front of that, the face of the object in front of that is getting selected. Of course, one way to get around that is to go ahead and it's called, for example, tank. You can go ahead and get rid of the tank by clicking on hide and show button, and then over here you can go ahead and find the tank and then just say I don't want to see the tank, I don't want to be always in my way. So when you do that, you basically select the object that you want. That's one way to do that. But if you want to always have the tank, you want to basically modify your model in respect to the tank or other objects, you can go ahead and make it visible again. And now what you want to do is when you select, so let's say I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna select, for example, this face. Okay, so what you do is you select the face and you see that it's selecting the face of the tank which is in front, and then you press B. When you press B, it will go to the behind the selection, whatever it is. So now I hope that you saw it's a little of a movement here. It went to another edge of the tank, and if I press again the B, it will go right on the edge that I want to select. If I wanted to select the other side of this edge, I can press B again, and you will see that it's going back to the other edge and all the way back to whatever edge that Ansoft thinks that I was trying to select. You see, it goes all the way back to the entire surface. Now when it's very back, when you press B, nothing will happen because this is the farthest edge, the farthest face that I could have asking Ansoft to select. So that's basically Ansoft says, I don't understand what you are going to go after this. There's nothing else after that. So, so this is one way to go and select the face that you want. You just need to press B to go behind the face that you want. Okay, I'm gonna press Ctrl D and show the entire design right now. And one other thing that is coming handy is, okay, we all know that if you press Ctrl and A, you can select the entire faces or objects that you see, whatever that you have in your model environment. And you can press anywhere else and it will deselect it. But let's say sometimes you press, for example, the Control key and you are trying to press two faces. One face is this. I'm holding the Control key and press another face. This is not the face I'm looking for. I press B and it goes to this face. So because I was holding the Control key, I can actually select two faces at the same time. So that's one way to do like two faces or more than one face. And now I'm having this two face selected and I zooming in and I forget that the other face is already selected, and I do some changes that I want to do for both of the faces, and then I will start doing some changes that I want to only do on this, but I forget that the other face is also selected. When you are in this kind of situation of changing things, always try to learn what is the short key for deselecting whatever I selected in this design. Sometimes you don't see the selected one, but if you go out, you zoom out, you see that this thing is already selected. So for example, if I was sick of this particular face and I was going to delete it, not only I would delete this face, I would delete the other face as well without me knowing that. So to always make sure that you are selecting the things that you are seeing in your canvas, you can always deselect everything and then select what you see. To do so, you press and hold Control and then Shift and then A. Basically, when you do that, it will deselect everything. So if I come back to the entire model, you can see that the face that I was already selected is deselected. So learn to do that every now and then, because my personal experiences, I came along a lot of problems trying to modify one face, and then I didn't know that the other face was already selected, and I was like duplicating something that I was not supposed to do. So deselect and learn this practice, that always deselect before you start selecting, just to make sure that you are not selecting anything outside of your canvas. Again, Control A to select all and Control Shift A to deselect all. There are two other basically shortcuts that I'm going to also go over with. One of them is very handy. Let's say that you have this design and you want to add a face on Y and X plane, parallel with the Y and X plane, and basically you want to start drawing a plane or something. You want to go and switch to the view that you can see the perspective or the design in a plane that says only X and Y. It's it's perpendicular to the Z axis, for example. You can press and hold the Alt key, and you can move around your mouse till you find an exact view that reaches what you want to see. For example, right now I'm in a view that I can see X and Y, and the Z is perpendicular. So it will take some time to do that each time. One way to accommodate that is to press and hold the Alt key, but instead of dragging it around, you can go ahead on the top. If you want to have a top view, for example, you go ahead on the top and double click. So you can see that you have Y and X, and you see a top view of your design. This is the Z coming out of your the surface of your canvas. Okay, so you go ahead on the top and then you double click. If you go ahead on the right corner of your canvas and double click, you will have the right cross-section view of your uh, model. And as you can guess, if you do that in the left, you will get the left cross-section model view of your model, and if you go on the bottom, you will get the bottom view of your model. Okay, so that basically can save a lot of time for you. And if you're drawing something, you know that this view, whatever you're drawing here, is exactly on the surface of XY. Of course, when you're drawing, you want to make sure that you're changing your working plane on X and Y, or whatever plane that you're looking at, so then you will get exactly the result that you're looking for. Quick and easy. So that also concludes all of my shortcuts, except the last shortcut. The last one is a bit advanced shortcut, and it's for the people who don't have a luxury graphic card, and the graphic card cannot handle the model, and you can see that there is lagging around, and you know, depending on the complexity of your model, you might have problems going around the model and rendering it. So one way to do that is to get rid of all the shadows and just see it as a wireframe. When you have in the wireframe, when you're in the wireframe view, you basically take a lot of workload out of your graphic card, and you know, you can see that the frame rate would be way faster, and you can smoothly move around. So to do that, the short key for that is F6. So if you press F6, you will see that the entire design goes to the wireframe. And in the wireframe, of course, my graphic card does not have that much of a problem for showing this model, and therefore you wouldn't see that much of a difference between wireframe and a smooth frame. But in the wireframe, if your graphic card had problem with the smooth frame, you wouldn't see that much of a problem in the wireframe, since the number of processing edges and the faces in this model is is reduced. So note that when you go to the wireframe, it's just a render. It doesn't have anything to do with your simulation results. It's just for you to be able to see the model easily, or if your graphic card has problem rendering it all the time, it makes it more smoother for you to go around of your model. If you want to come back to the original smooth mode, you go and press F7. Okay, so when you press F7, you go into the smooth mode, and you can see shadows and lightnings effects, and gives you more perspective view of what you have. Okay, so that would also this will finish up the shortcuts. The last thing that I wanted to also add is how you can define your own custom keyboard shortcut. There is a tool that you can do that, and if you are interested to do so, you go over the menus, toolbar, and you select tools, and you go ahead and find the word keyboard shortcuts, and then you click on that. So over here you can see a lot of shortcuts that I was talking about, and actually you have to go to the 3D, for example, Maxwell. So let's say if I can find any shortcuts that I was going for that. So I think those are in the 3D model. Parameters. Oh, 3D model at the very top. So for example, here you should be able to see select edge. So the select edge, as I said, it was E. Shortcut for selected comment is E. Just pressing E. You can remove that and you can put whatever, press whatever thing that you like, and make it like whatever you want, but you can see how it works. So basically select face, as I said, it's just F. So you can go ahead and remove this. I don't want to do that because I think it's appropriate, but if you don't think it's like what you're looking for, if you have a shortcut for another program that is bothering you, you can go ahead and remove this shortcut and make a unique shortcut for you for this program. And also you can add a lot of other shortcuts. So basically you see here a whole list of commands that you can find in Ansoft, and you can easily define a shortcut. Many of them does not have any shortcut defined, so you can go ahead and start defining shortcuts um, for these comments. Okay, so that basically concludes this section of the tutorials, which was trying to cover the shortcuts in Ansoft. I hope that you enjoyed this video and get whatever you were looking for it. Please leave your comments below, and if you have any questions, ask there. I will try my best to respond as soon as possible, and thank you for watching this.